Room where I had my bizarre job interview will suffice for food times. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. Utterly famished by this point, I have a seat and unpack my lone lunch. I opened my mouth as wide as I could and let the fear fall from my lips, my mind devoid of any emotion but terror, but horror. Whoa, it's fine. Everything is gonna be fine. But you're. I'm a real human being, I promise. It's just a costume.
Hey, so I'm sorry if I traumatized you. Really? Can we start over, maybe?
I nod my head slowly, although this could just be muscle spasms for being in shock.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Raven.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret, yet not so secret identity.
What? The Funplex what now? It's almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was off the scare cheerful. I've met some really intense people so far.
Did you sneak into the employee section just to get my autograph?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought you would recognize Pinky from all the signs around the arcade. Pinky is the mascot of the Funplex, after all.
Oh, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, I work here.
You work here? Since when?
Today? This morning, to be specific.
Oh, awesome! Welcome to the Funplex.
I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creature plastered on every wall that you had to know more.
Let's see.
You could have stealthily maneuvered your way through all the games, sliding right on up to the employees' only door. But how did you get the door code?
Ooh.
Of course. You could have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided that 4-digit number had to be the intel you needed.
Let's see.
Next, you need to lie and wait for the opportune moment to punch in the secret code. Just to find me. Keeps going and going. Ashley's got quite the imagination, alright. Well, I mean, wow. I'm suddenly impressed, albeit slightly terrified. She can just take an idea and run with it. Where she's running with it, I'm not even sure she knows. And how would you have snuck out, I wonder? I could have helped, but for a price. Ashley finally realizes she's been babbling to herself for a good couple of minutes. Oops. Sometimes I get swept up in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that doll here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement than beeps and boops, screaming children, and broken machines. You aren't really painting the best picture here. Oh, geez, I didn't mean to be a downer. I just want to move up in the world. I've got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, cosplay to make. Cosplay? Switch topics just like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Yeah, you know, like dressing up as your favorite video game or TV character. I love it. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. Empowering? Really? Granted, you certainly had the power to set my heart for a few beats. Definitely. You want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. In fact, I made this one. I think Ashley's pointing to her flamingo costume, but it's a little hard to tell with her hands as feathers. So Pinky is your creation? Intentionally? Yep, it looks pretty great for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I'd probably stitch my hands together if I tried that. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stuff like that, literally, if I get enough thread running between them. I'm pretty impressed, though. Naomi was going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly you're digging on craftsmanship of costumes. Aw, thanks. It's really nice and hard work is appreciated. I wear it around the Funplex to liven up the crowd, to get people pumped to play some games, and the kids seem to adore it. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far. No crowds to pump over kids to be adored by. Hey, secret between you and me? As she motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room once, and talks in a hushed tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm, and I was giving her an old test drive to make sure it doesn't fall off. Huh, limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was. Yesterday, I was dancing with a little girl. Must have been like 5, 6 years max. Anyway, we were next to Showtime stage and she tugged on my arm and whoosh! Off came the arm. The girl instantly started bawling. Well, at least you were consistently scaring people and it's not just me.
Nope.
Hey now. I don't want that to happen again. I felt so bad. But enough about me. What about you? So you're Carl's replacement? I guess so. I'm a new floor attendant. I tend to the floor. The floor is the thing I'm attending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. I can't wait to go home and tell Juniper I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I met them already, although it seems like they aren't too keen on each other. Right? As she rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. I wish they would just hurry up and make out already. Yeah. Wait. What? Seriously? So, are they going out? Haha, nope. But they always bicker like an old married couple. It's classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always end up together. Mark my words, Raven. Consider them marked.
Beep beep.
Beep 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 beep. Raven. What's that sound? Drat, I set an alarm for when my lunch break was over. Time to get back to the grindstone. I didn't even get a chance to eat.
What? No.
That's no good. Raven needs their calories. You eat up. I'll go watch the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You can do my job and wander the floor a bit. Fair enough. Thanks. Ashley winks before her face disappears into the dark recesses of that inhuman mask. As I'm wolfing down rice in the shape of a little heart, wow, it occurs to me I didn't actually ponder my first impressions of Ashley yet. Let's see. Ashley's a total cutie. I'm all aboard the Pinky train. Choo-choo. I'm a little shocked at how creative and fun Ashley is. I've never met anyone like her that has so much gusto in life. I hope if I spend more time with her, a little of that passion will rub off on me too. Anyway, with the lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. Rolling into the afternoon, the crowd starts to fill out. School's done, and the late rising pros are heading out to their arcades of choice. With Ashley covering the desk, my job is to wander the floor looking for problems, or potential problems, or just making sure everything's a-okay. For starters, it's a good time to collect my thoughts. I think I'm off to a decent start with my coworkers. Good first impressions at any rate. Cooperating is going to be a must. I've had awful coworkers before, and they can really drag down your day. Hang on. What time for daydreaming? I think I spot, let's see, 3 possible issues to look at. I should have time to get to all of them. Which should I tackle first? My mutant floor attendant senses danger from the left-hand side of the arcade. I quickly rushed all 30 feet to the scene of the crime, already in progress. Come on! Hurry the bleep up and finish your game. Do you work here? I saw you behind the desk earlier. Note to self, ask Gavin for a name tag or something. Yes, I'm Raven, floor attendant. Well, stop attending to the carpets and attend to me. I want this bleep to wrap up his damn game so I can play. Ashley's face is obscured beneath her costume's mask, but I can feel her wince as the man curses up a blue streak. Sir, there are children present. Please keep the swearing to a minimum. You kick this fast piece of bleep off this game, and I'll sing Mary-headed little lamb all you want. Figuring out how to hear the fat piece of bleep's side of story before rushing to judgment, I tap the player on the shoulder. And he doesn't even notice my tapping. So I tap again, twice. Sir, there are other players waiting to give Mr. Moopy's magic maze a spin. Curiously, the player looks up the game's marquee. Thank you, Naomi, which simply reads to Moopy. You know the game's full name? Sure, I played it a lot when I was a kid. It's actually called Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, right? Wizards and pellets and monsters and stuff? Yeah. Victor says he's laser focused on the game, and I can see why. He's currently sitting on 714,900 points. Holy crap, that's a heck of a high score. Or as this other guy would probably pull it, holy bleep, that's a bleep of a high score. Excuse me. Right, sir, can you please wrap up your game? Nope. I'm keeping good pace here. Plenty of lives stalked. On par for getting close to the world record before the kill screen. Some of those thick arcade jargon sounds classier draped in his British accent. Like, I'm watching some documentary program on the BBC. I probably was slightly more Australian there. I haven't done a British accent in so long. I'm a little rusty. Yes, but this is a public arcade. Other folks want to play the games too. He finishes clearing the current board while pondering the predicament. Okay. At first I think he's stepping away to end his game, but he's letting his stock of 50 extra dudes slowly deplete as he pulls out his wallet. Without pause, he pulls out $3,000 in cash and holds it out. Will this cover it? For a moment I flash back to that movie where some dude pays another dude to sleep with his wife and they roll around in bed covered in money and, Cover what exactly? The cost of the game. The game itself. I've never seen this much raw cash in one place at any given time. It's not even in 20s. Who's rolling in Benjamins? One moment, please. Fortunately, Guyverse already has my messenger app open for me, with Gavin's contact info preloaded. With trembling fingers, I key in. Customer wants to buy movie for $3K. What do? In less than a minute, I have a response. Consider we paid $200 for it, plus parts. Yes, absolutely yes. Sell that relic immediately. Well, okay then. Although, how was Naomi gonna react to this? Offloading one of her darlings just because Gavin wants to make 15 full profit? It also kind of feels weird to be taking advantage of this guy's lack of grasp on the real cost of old arcade machines. I knew this workplace drama was going to catch up to me at some point. With this rando breathing down my neck, I gotta make a decision. The game was $200, but I'm not sure we should sell it. It's an older game and actually cost us about $200, but well, it's part of the arcade, sir. I expect this apparent gazillionaire to protest not getting his way, but he's smiling. You're right, this is Moopy's home after all. Let's compromise. I'll pay you $1,000 American and own the game, but you keep it here. In return, I get to play it as long as I want, provided nobody's already playing. That way I can keep chasing the score, but your arcade stays whole. I'd hate to break up a loving family. Naomi will be relieved to hear that. Even if Gavin may flay me for passing up $2,000. Good, I'd hate to make Naomi cry. How could I live with myself? Which leaves the rando hopping mad. To be fair, we had been kind of ignoring that he exists. What the bleep, man? What kind of arcade is this anyway? Bleep this. I'm going to Deco's Palace. And we just lost a customer stomping his way out the door. Stomp, stomp, stomp. On the plus side, Naomi won't cry. On the negative side, I just drove a rando out into the cold.
What a disagreeable fellow.
As for the player, well, he goes back to playing. Eating pellets, sapping ghost monsters, clearing mazes. With that crisis behind us, I can finally focus on who this gonzo rich guy actually is. Oof, digging that dad bod. The cuddly cozy teddy bear physique, the Benedict Cumberbatch accent, and he's soaked in compassion and empathy for others? Yes, please. I would definitely rather not be Benedict Cumberbatch we're comparing him to literally any other British man, but alright. He could have waltzed out of here with that game. He didn't. He cares about more than money and more than his own high scores. It's more mature than me, but that's more than okay in my book. I've always been attracted to that age bracket. I'm sure he could teach me a thing or two. About Moopy, I mean, right. So, you know Naomi? He's happy to talk even while playing.
Of course. I'm a Funplex regular. My name's Percy. I'd hazard you're our new floor attendant. I was here when Francine seated you behind the desk earlier.
That's me, Raven Cater, arcade wrangler.
Well then, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I look forward to getting to know you better.
So, you've seriously just been playing Moopy all day, huh?
What can I say? It's my calling. I actually owned a Moopy cabinet once. Had it in my flat. But playing it by myself, all alone in the dark, it's not the same. I need the atmosphere.
The beeps and boops?
No, those you eventually learn to filter out. I mean, everything. The games, the lights, the kids, the feeling of being in an arcade. I score my best when I'm in real-world conditions. It's all about the emotions, the laughter and the tears, the excitement of competition. I need that swirling chaos of human emotions around me to play at my finest. Mm-hmm.
Naomi gets that. She keeps Moopy in top condition for the day I eventually land my high score. What's current world record then? About 3.5 million. This guy's been standing here since I was working the morning shift, hours and hours, and he's still only about 72k into his game. Can't imagine him being in anything but top health condition to try this. Guy's gotta have legs made of carbon fiber and a bladder of tungsten. I just let a couple extra lives drain out whenever I need to go pee. Also, he may be psychic. I feel like I shouldn't go back to this game, but burning questions, they burn like fire. How is it he can afford this game? So gonna get your movie... So you must have a solid job, good income. If you don't mind me commenting on it, that's a lot of money to just have on your person. What do you do for a living? This and that. He doesn't actually seem to care. He doesn't actually really seem to care to talk about his work. Not in a guarded way, but it's just less interesting than his current maze. Maybe he's actually the head of an international diamond smuggling ring. They hide the stones inside arcade machines. Day trading. Huh? Day trading. Stocks and bonds. Anyone can do it if they had a head from numbers. It's really nothing important. Or maybe he's a day trader.
Don't think so.
I don't feel people are defined by their work. I know the arcade is home to those who've made their passion into the work, but it's passion that matters the more. I've my passions, same as anyone. I look forward to learning yours as well. When I'm not deep in the middle of the game, I mean. He's getting more and more distracted by the game. I should leave him be. I have to do a thing about a thing. By saying you mix cater. Another weird encounter, a string of weird encounters. I can't help but wear a goofy grin as I walk away. A hot guy with a big heart? Yep, still my type. So I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. He's a Funplex regular. Let's keep an eye on him, preferably two. Let's see what to handle next. In the distance, I see a number of people gathering, which is surprising since the first half of my shift was complete and utter solitude. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that people do come to the arcade, but that's quite the crowd that's assembling. This has to be against some fire code or safety protocol or something, right? Speaking as a citizen that enjoys living, having an escape route in case of emergencies is necessary. Time to clear the way and pave my own path of safety. As I approach, I see flashing neon lights accompanied by upbeat Europop drifts. It's an auditory flashback back to 1980. Bleep! I can't help but nod my head to the beat. A pulsating mass of people have surrounded the Showtime stage, cheering on the current player. The game itself takes up a whole corner of the arcade, requiring a fair amount of space to actually play. Showtime Stage is an ultra-modern arcade smash hit. It uses motion tracking sensors hidden behind the colored spotlights to check dance pose accuracy and score your sweet moves. It's pure dance fever. Can you catch the fever, Raven? I had my dance fever shots at the doctors earlier this season. As the dance ends, one of the players hops down from the stage and immediately starts talking to a young man leaning up against the back wall. Did you see that, Teo? I got my first AA on Stop the Beat.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I did. You're doing great. Remember last month you couldn't even pass that song? Totes impressive. I'm gonna keep practicing one day, maybe even surpass you. Hey, I hope you do. And when you do, you can be the one who brings in new dancers and teaches them how to play. As next song starts, my eyes shift from a conversation to observe the gyrations and intricate limb movements coming from Showtime stage. I feel my head bobbing and my foot tapping. Hey, it's a really catchy song. Can you blame me? I'm getting really into it when I feel a hand on my shoulder.
Care to dance?
How about you? Want to take the spotlight? Dance with a hottie like you? Absolutely. I can feel my cheeks flush slightly. Cute boy just asked me to dance with him. Granted, it's for an imported arcade dancing game rather than junior prom. But this rarely happens to me. My heart skips a beat before I can find enough composure to respond. What? Me? Really?
Hello?
You and only you. How could I resist to ask a person such as yourself? You caught my eye the moment you walked over.
Hey, wait. You're new here, right?
Yes, very.
Name's Mateo, but everyone here just calls me Teo.
Teo's the best. Greatest guy here. He's sort of like our, leader, yeah?
Oh, please, I'm nothing really.
He looks directly into my eyes.
Nothing as special as you.
Sir, please stop.
I just like to show newbies the ropes and teach them how to play. Our community is small, but we're all super close. I think you'd be a perfect addition to our gang. So, what do you say? Play our silly dancing game?
Teo outstretches his arm and me, waiting for my hand to grab his. Fuck it. I couldn't care less how it's supposed to be working. One does not simply refuse to play a dancing game with an attractive guy. It's like that one dream I kept having, but it's actually true. I mean, a different dream than the one where I'm giving speech in front of the class and forgot to put on my pants. Without thought, I'd take a stand. Yes! 1,000 times yes! I was about to stand up to stage, an ominous shiver crawls on my spine. I glance over and spot Ashley standing behind the ticket counter. I know I can't see her face behind my mask, but I totally sense she's glaring daggers my way. It's creeping me out. Oh, on second thought, I'm actually supposed to be working right now. I'm new floor attendant, Raven. Really? But I haven't seen you around here at all. What happened to the other guy? He was actually pretty good at Showtime Stage, now that I think about it. He's out, I'm in. It's currently year 0, floor attendant Raven Regent.
Hello there.
Well, it's an honor to meet you, Raven. I hope we get to know each other well. Indeed. For someone that loves Showtime Stage as much as you do, I haven't actually seen you play yet. True, most of the time during these meetups I tend to let everyone else play. I go around and make sure everyone is happy and having a blast. What about you and your feelings? Teo shrugs. My happiness comes from making other people happy. That's all I need in life. Which is all well and good, but I still need to deal with this crowd. How best to handle it? Hey, want to film a workplace safety video? Good, we can start by getting to know workplace safety together. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you gotta break up the band. Unless you want to film one of those retro 1960 bleep public service announcement videos where someone loses his leg dancing off the stage into the crowd.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Guess we're kind of overdoing it a little. Shaking hands is danger. Hey, when the heat is on and the lights are shining, these things happen. I'll take care of it. Luckily, the song that was being played just finished. Teo jumps up the stage and cuffs his hands over his mouth. Hey, listen! We need to keep this area to the left of the stage clear. Ah, man, but why? I like my spot. Hey now, you know the deal. We all have to be cool about fire safety. It's Raven's first day, so let's show them some respect. I see everyone turn around and glare at me. Great, now I'm going to be known as a party pooper. I guess I've had worse reputations in my lifetime. Then one time I had to close the pool because of that dirty bandage floating in the water. No one would talk to me for a week. Hey, don't disappoint me, crew. Raven's just doing their job. Reluctantly, the crowd reshovels itself in a semi-orderly fashion. As everyone else jumps into a safer way of watching the game, Teo jumps down and comes back to me. Better? I know, I'm genuinely impressed with how Teo can capture his community's attention. They listen to him and have the utmost respect for him. Yeah, actually, much better.
didn't mean to cause any trouble. Sometimes we just get so caught up in the game, you know? Of course you know. Hey, you should still join us later. Maybe when your shift's over. We'll all be here dancing until closing time.
As long as the dancing is within the law, carry on. Officer Raven has spoken. I start to walk away ready for my next venture when I remember something I should do. I turn back to Teo. Hey, thanks.
No problem.
Well, I feel nice and accomplished. I was able to uphold the safety of the arcade and make a new friend. I said that's pretty good for my first day. Even Gavin's gonna be impressed, right? With that business sorted out, it's time to leave Showtime Stage. Let's see, what to handle next? I went cursing of a sort of fist of discomfort. There's a lot of shouting coming from the center of the arcade where Fist of Discomfort is being played. I remember Iris telling me about it earlier today while I was bored to death at the ticket desk. Fist of Discomfort, or FOD, is one of the most popular games in the esports circuit. It's been a staple of the scene for over 6 years. One year, Team Wicked Prodigies took on the Unreal and came back to win in the dying seconds of a tiebreaker match to take home a record $5 million prize pot. That's a lot of moolah. And how? Okay, so how does it work? It's a hybrid of real-time strategy and button-mash brawling. Fight your way down the top and bottom lanes, clearing waves of ninjas to finally topple the enemy dojo. But that's the action part. The strategy part involves using special abilities, purchased items, and ninja summons. FOD is clear elegance in its simplicity, the way the different game systems interweave to form one masterpiece of esports perfection. So summon good ninjas, punch bad ninjas, smash dojo. I'd say boiling down a rich game of action and strategy played the world over by top gamers in such a way is a bit degrading, but sure, okay. All of which is super interesting and stuff, but right now all I care about is dealing with the loudmouth currently playing the game. The closer I get, the louder the yelling gets. Most of these words are just that.
What the
When the actual bleep was that? Those are definitely all words my mother would disapprove of. You've got to be bleeping me. There is no bleeping way that is even plausible. Those hitboxes don't even bleeping connect. Bleep this game. Bleep it all night long. Haha, get wrecked. Oh, this is far from over, scrub. I saved up a little something extra for you. I've been baiting you into attacking my sensei, which you fell for, hard. Oh hey, did I forget to mention I brought an extra ultimate technique scroll for my dojo? Whoops, mine be. Wait, you haven't been farming? How could... XP share technique with creep waves. Take this. Take this fivefold bleeping explosive death claw technique. What? How did you defeat me? No!
Oh, GG. No one can defeat me, Queen Bee.
My dry eyes painfully blinking makes me realize I've been standing there watching intently during that whole exchange. I'm not 100% sure what just happened, but it didn't really matter. I was completely sucked in, couldn't tear my eyes away. It was like watching a train wreck. I mean, if the train was an arcade game and the wreck was that guy's face.
Hey, kid, what are you staring at? Never seen a champion of my caliber before?
Oh, seeing as I didn't even know how to begin to start to even consider how to respond to her question, I have to take a moment and collect my thoughts. From what I've somewhat gathered, she goes by Queen Bee. The jacket she's wearing identifies her as a member of L7 Gaming, an arcade esports team. And she's the most direct, fierce person I've met all day. It's saying a lot considering who I've run into so far. Should be fun to hang around, no doubt. The level of excitement always gushing out, I can only imagine how much excitement she gets out of life. What can I say? People love winning. It seems like she wins a lot. At least between bursts of, what did Iris call it? Saltiness?
Hey, don't just stand there all weird and quiet-like. It's creepy.
She snaps her fingers to grab my attention.
So, are you gonna quarter up or not? Think you can best the hottest rising star of L7?
From what I've seen, I know I can't best a scrub, let alone a professionally competitive player of this game. Nope. No thank you. Plus, I'm not sure I'm allowed to play games while I'm working.
You work here?
I'm actually pretending to work here. Shh. Oh, it's all just a front. I wander around the floor to, you know, pick up drop tickets and hopes of getting one of the giant stuffed flamingos behind the price counter. I know, right? If I was good at those ticket games as I am at FOD, I'd have a flock of giant pink flamingos. Maybe I'd even give you one. Maybe.
Hey, they haven't given you a name tag yet. How am I supposed to know who you are?
I think that was actually a weird tactic to have me introduce myself to her. I'm Raven. I did technically just start working here 6 hours ago. It might take them time to issue me a name tag. Maybe they need to send a carrier pigeon to an ancient monastery where name tags are forged in a vast clay oven. Nah, Gavin's just slacking big time. I'll talk to that silly boy for you. Make sure you get some proper respect. Thanks? No problem. We gamers gotta stick together.
I'm Queen Bee, by the way. Aggro-style FOD lane pusher specialist for L7 Gaming.
I figured that when you put your arms over your head and shouted, "No one can defeat me, Queen Bee."
Hey, I do not sound like that. Well, maybe a little.
Anyway, I'm one of the regulars around here, besides Pear and Teo. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the future. Let's hope you last longer than the last guy. Oh great, now she's even making my job into competition. I hope there isn't a betting pool too. You look like a smart kid. You see one of my many streams on the internet, right? Nope. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh.
Really? Have you been living under the rock for the past decade? If you consider a small yet formidable apartment a rock, then yes. Oh, you sweet child. You were so innocent and pure. Come, let me show you the path to darkness that is the internet. My internal sensors are going off. They're telling me to reverse and leave this conversation ASAP. No. I think I'm okay without that.
Come on!
Where's the fun in that? I'm just gonna show you how it all works. Quimby grabs my arm and pulls me closer to the Fist of Discomfort cabinet. Upon further inspection, I see the whole haphazard pile of tech she's rigged up. You can't just plug on one of these cabs into the internet, so I do use a number of clip-on webcams and mics and stuff. That webcam there, it broadcasts to my personal PC back home, which then streams matches live to all my fans. The chat room appears on my phone. It costs a bit to put everything all together, and it takes like half an hour to rig up and test each morning. But after doing this here for a couple of years, it's easy peasy. Aside from Naomi grinding her teeth at my clip-on cameras damaging the paint job, I mean. Anyway, I prefer to stream from the Funplex at home. There was so much to miss out on sitting by your lonesome with console version of FOD. The crowds, the wicked trash talk, the community. Wait, are you broadcasting live right now? Are we live right now?
Nope, no way.
Ha ha ha. Bleep! No, that was part of my warm-up matches. I've got a pretty big tournament coming up, so I try to get as much practice in as possible, even if it is with a bunch of fodder. As in fodder. As in, you know, chum, lunch meat, scrubs, losers. I get the idea, yes. Queen sees something out of the corner of her eye and glances around the arcade floor. She gives a nod to someone hanging out near the Street Fighter cabinet. My crew is starting to trickle in. We should be starting team practice soon. Wait, what time is it? At the tone, the time will be 2:25 p.m. Eastern.
Beep, beep. What the?
Bleep! I gotta go live in 5 minutes. Listen, kid, it's been swell. We'll chat later, right? Sure, one thing. Can you keep the swearing down at least a little? If your kid's around here and I don't want you to get in trouble with Gavin. Him? Meh. But for you, I'll keep it to a PG-13 rating. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's some butts out there that I need to kick. Later. With a wave and a twirl, she completely abandons me and returns to her Fist of Discomfort game. Maybe fires up her broadcast rig, and the shouting and milder swearing start up again. I probably should get out of here before I accidentally end up on the stream. Passion seems to run deep in this arcade. Everybody's spirit burning with passion for, well, various things, but hey, passion's passion. She seems to like me, which will make my job easier in the long run. There's a huge FOD community in this arcade, despite being a tiny strip mall joint. Good to know. The arcade is now at peace. My work here is done. Well, actually, we're a few hours from closing time, so work here isn't quite done, but, you know. I'm so at peace, in fact, that I don't even notice the underboss of the arcade sliding up behind me.
Good day.
Not a bad first day so far. I've been keeping tabs on you. Well, others have been, and they've been texting me. You know, you should consider getting a proper group chat app going. I've got a crappy phone plan. My texts aren't free. A valid point. I'll look into that.
Impressive.
I'm impressed with how you handle yourself. I think you're gonna work out just fine. Anyway, I prepared your paperwork if you'd like to go sign it and make this working relationship a bit more above board.
Yeah.
So you're staying? Please tell me you're staying. I mean, I fed you and everything. Francine hasn't fired them yet, right? Adorable Nightmare joins impromptu staff gathering.
Ooh.
Raven's off to a great start. Here's to your first day, followed by many more. Don't you have jobs to attend to? Just ordered a replacement power supply for Robotron. Nothing left to do for the day. Not many kids around for me to entertain. Finally, a quiet moment. My dream job has been going a mile a minute since I got here. Is it my dream job? I told Francine I wasn't sure why I was here, but that I was willing to try and find out for myself. It'd be silly to think I'd find my purpose after a single day, but on the whole, that day's been pretty decent. I'm starting to get along with my coworkers. I'm helping people with their problems. What more can I want? What more could I want? Well, I don't know. Not yet, but I'll find out one day. We've only got a few hours till closing, and it's nice and quiet. How about we game a bit? Speak for yourself. I've got some paperwork to handle. Oh, come on. Don't act like you don't game. Irrelevant. I know your dirty little secret. What? Naomi? You sneak in early each morning to play pinball. You're a pinball wizard. Well, what of it? I bring order to chaos. Pinball is the very expression of that art form. You know what we should do? Impromptu pinball tourney. The girls are giggling, and I'm finding myself smiling right alongside them. All in all, not a bad way to end my first day.
By the way, I've booked a birthday party for this afternoon.
looks of confusion and outright terror on their faces, all laughter dying off immediately, are vaguely concerning to me.
Sorry, I meant to tell you, dears, but I plumb forgot.
A birthday party? How old are the kids, may I ask? It's her 5th birthday. Oh, to be young again. 5-year-olds? Naomi starts pulling at her hair, eyes wide and trembling. Throwing ski balls overhand at the glass, jumping up and down the pinball machines, putting chewing gum into coin slats? Pulling out my costume, tearing off pieces of it? Naomi, Ashley, keep it together. We've survived kids' birthday parties before. Doom! The end is nigh!
Well, I'd hate to get in the way of all the fun. It's time for my afternoon nap anyway.
That's evil of you, Francine. That's fucking evil of you to abandon us in our time of need.
Fun, dears.
Right, battle stations, everyone. I'll take ticket desks so I can oversee operations. Ashley, greet the kids. Naomi, watch for hardware damage. Raven, roaming duty. Look for trouble. Do what you can. Prepare yourselves. They're coming. Like an oncoming tidal wave, the rumble is felt before it is seen. Parents pulling into the parking lot, minivans disgorging kindergartners, and suddenly... an explosion of small humans rushes the door, bursting into the arcade before scattering every which way. Even before any of them can get tokens, they're grabbing a joystick, smashing buttons, eager to get their game on, or even just pretend to be playing. Crew assumes battle stations, Naomi by the fragile pinball machines, Ashley near the door trying to distract the incoming kids. To greet them, Gavin, armed with pre-stacked $10 rolls of tokens, quickly exchanges them with the adults, beats waiting in the line of exchange machines. As to the pro gamers, well, Queen Bee and Teo's friends bolt for the eggs and abandoning them. Keen on getting ahead of the surge of kitties, I guess. It's all very well and good, but I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. Roaming duty, Gavin said. Look for trouble, Gavin said. I mean, I was doing that before, but now the chaos is multiplied. For a few minutes, I'm like a pinball being bounced around, or that frog trying to cross a highway of traffic. Eventually, I spot 3 possible problems on the rise, and Raven, professional floor attendant, is ready to attend to them. Which one of these should I tackle first, though? I may not be able to deal with all of them in time. 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes near Naomi and Ashley. So disaster on the wind didn't smell sweet. As soon as I could smell that box of birthday cupcakes one of the parents left near the ticket desk, with kids swarming around it, scavenging for their favorite icing colors. At first, my inner child was merely offended that someone thought one of those icing blob cakes was superior to actual birthday cake. But there are clearly larger issues at stake than that.
I want a chocolate. Don't take all the chocolate.
I want 2 cupcakes. Give me 2 cupcakes.
No fair. Everybody gets one, and mine's gotta be chocolate.
Of course, the kid at the front grabs the last one.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Parents aren't paying attention. They're too busy complaining about their jobs and the weather and the PTA and stuff. Meaning when the first cupcake is thrown, nobody's there to stop it.
Stop it!
I want chocolate.
As blobby wads of icing and sponge cake go flying, I glance over to the coin-op machines, which are about to get caught in the crossfire. Naomi, who's busy trying to unjam a joystick, one of the kids waggle too hard, looks up to see a cupcake onslaught coming her way. As is Ashley, whose fuzzy costume is a nice and inviting target for flying confectionery. Act fast, Raven. Quickly, I hurl myself into action. Get down! Numbness sets in as multiple rounds of frosting-coated mortar fire impact against my body. When I finally hit the ground, my clothes are totally ruined. But alas, my noble silk sacrifice could not completely protect them. Naomi seems to get the idea and shields the game with her body, and a few stray cupcakes that missed me hit her, but otherwise no damage done. Ashley takes a few shots, unfortunately, but it could have been worse. Parents swarmed around up the cupcake war instigators. Naomi and Ashley kneeled down to check on my fallen form. Raven, are you okay?
Oh my!
Could be paralyzed from neck down. Raven. Blink once if you're paralyzed. Blink twice if not. I'm not paralyzed. Oh hey, or you could talk. That works too. Naomi helps me to my feet, although I have to be careful not to mingle my I assume with her icing in the process.
Ugh.
Days like these, I'm glad I wear an apron. Ew, cupcakes are food, not fashion. Colored,
Poops.
colored icing is the worst. I think I can get these two out with some club soda, fortunately. Guess they got all of us, huh? But Raven worst of all. You know, that was super selfless of you trying to save us from the splatter. Speaking as floor attendant, you score a silver medal. Despite all of us ending up splattered a little, they seem in good spirits. I should try to keep that rolling. My cupcake food was not strong enough. I must now go to meditate under a waterfall and train for 10 years. Unfortunately that my learned skills in the mastery of mid-air cupcake retrieval failed me in this hour of need. I've dishonored myself in my arcade. I'm restrained for 10 years, during which I can let the shame of this incident drive the fire in my soul to greater heights of cupcake defense. Just have Ashley daydream up a training montage for you. Same effect, but it saves a lot of time. I am at your disposal, although my screenwriting fees are industry standard if you want the full Ashley treatment. Anyway, thanks Raven, that was a complete mess, but I guess it could have been more of a complete mess if you hadn't done that.
Yeah.
I better get back to fixing this joystick. You should clean up and get back to it. Also, this party's still going. Good luck. Yeah, good luck, and hey, good work. If you'll excuse me, I need to go clean up poor Pinky a bit. It could have gone better, but it also could have gone much, much worse. More importantly, it kept her spirits up. Even Ashley, who has clean icing out of her furry felt, came out of it cheerful. With a brief nod from Gavin, I snatch up one of the official Funplex t-shirts to replace my cupcake top. A few minutes in the bathroom to change and wipe off icing off my pants. I'm ready to go again. Right, that's sorted out, but the other two situations were to spin out of control, but I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? I'm sorry, small child, but this other child takes precedent, I feel like. Sounds of hardship called me from the Fast Cars 5 racing games. Shouting adults and crying children are never particularly good signs, and I hope beyond hope that I can take this on. I shook the discomfort off. Now's not the time to start. Now's not the time to doubt myself. I need to find out what's going on, and stat. As I get closer to the revving of engines and the clacking of shifting gears, I see a grown woman berate a cowering boy.
I didn't.
Admit it, I know what you did, you brat. You manipulated my precious son to put his tokens in your game. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. Children like you are the absolute worst. Garbage. Ma'am, keep your voice down. There's no need to shout at a child, no less. What's going on here? This jerk of a boy told my sweetest beyond sweet Josh that he should put in his own tokens into the racing machine so he could play it for free. Josh earned those tokens from his own allowance, and I won't let some devil child steal his money. Just take a moment to calm down, okay? Before I say anything else, I spot Queen Bee and Teo out of the corner of my eye. Queen Bee looks infuriated, and Teo has buried his face in his hand. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, they might have some insight. Racing games are right next to Showtime stage. Teo probably had a good vantage point of the whole thing if he was dancing on stage. And just by the way Queen Bee's brows are furrowed, I can tell something is not sitting right with her. I could ask one of them for their help, or I could try to solve this one by myself. Teo was right next to the action when it went down. I decided to check in with him. Ma'am, I know you're upset right now, but if you could please stop shouting, we can get this all settled. Teo, I refuse to calm down until this child has been appropriately punished. This disrespect is tolerated in this arcade. That such disrespect is tolerated in this arcade is appalling. Oh, I'm giving you the worst online reviews. Teo jumps down from the stage and approaches the shouting woman. He puts his hands up.
Sheesh.
Simmer down, simmer down. This can all be explained with science. Really? I mean, right, of course, Teo, by all means elaborate. Teo walks past us and right up to the Fast Cars 5 game. He casually slumps in the driver's seat and the motions for us to come near. Let me show you both something. Teo points to the car console. It's got a wheel, which is fantastic and totally necessary for a driving game. Pedals, gear shift, and so on. The feature Teo draws our attention to are the two coin slots, which are vertically stacked, one on top of the other. Okay, so this is where you're dropping your tokens to play the game. However, do you see how it's practically in the middle of these two identical consoles? Which game does the top slot belong to, the right hand or the left hand game? It's obviously the right one, right? I mean, correct? Of course not, fool. It's the left one.
Exactly.
Raven is correct. What? Preposterous. See, these import games can be confusing. I'm sure your son just put his token in the wrong slot. Common mistake, really. Happens all the time. Considering how confused I was, I could see how a small child would be just as, if not more, confused. Honestly, mine was just a lucky guess. I give Teo a grateful look, happy that this crisis has been dealt with. The frustrated customer would undoubtedly apologize for yelling at that boy now. How dare you imply my precious Josh was wrong? I can't believe the gall of some people. Josh? Josh, get over here. We are leaving this horrible arcade. Right now. Oh well, didn't see that one coming. Mom scoops up her child and storms out the front door. I don't think we'll see her or son anymore, and frankly, I'm cool with that. Once they're gone, Teo looks back at me from the driver's seat and shrugs.
No can do.
There's just no pleasing some people. I feel sorry for her son. That's no way to treat a kid. Teo's sprightly and happy demeanor shifted slightly, eyes glazed over as he looks into the distance. I haven't seen Teo act like this before. He just looks so upset. I wonder if I should check in with him. Did something like this happen to you too? I feel like you can really empathize with the situation, like deja vu maybe. I know it's really none of my business, but were you yelled at as a kid too? Student is always Raven. It happened a long time ago, but every time I see a child yelled at, just reminded me of how I'd get treated by teachers, notably. I'd space out in class daydreaming, and they'd rake me over the coals for it just to assert authority. Total overkill.
Bummer.
It really bums me out to see adults mistreat kids this way, you know? I like to treat people with respect, even when they're in the wrong. Like you saw just now with that woman. After pausing for a moment, the fire returns behind his eyes. I appreciate you taking some time to ask me, you know. Shows you've got respect, too. And empathy. You're too sweet to me, Raven. But I'm not that important. You should make sure that boy's safe and sound.
Catch you later.
I'm headed back to Showtime stage. Holler if you need anything. I give a quick wave to Teo as he returns to his game. Poking around a bit, I managed to find the kid, still shaken up from the whole ordeal. Hey, sorry about all that. Are you going to be okay? I think so. I swear I didn't do anything. The other kid, he just came out of nowhere and dropped his token in my slot. After I lost, I got off the game and offered it to him. He just ran away. And the woman approached you and started yelling. The boy nods, wiping his snotty nose on his shirt. Uh-huh. Well, if it's any consolation, the bad lady's gone. I don't think she's going to ever come back. The boy's cheeks still streaked with tears, lets a smile spread on his face.
Thank you.
Thank you, and tell that nice man thanks for sticking up for me too. I know, and the boy scurries off and rejoins some of his other friends. 2 problems in the can. Now deal with a crying kid by the ski-ball machines. Oh, she's gone. Oh, crap. Darcy looks up briefly from clearing level 78 for movie. Looking for that girl. I think her parents took her home. Party turned sour for her, I suppose. Drat, I wasn't fast enough. You can't be everywhere at once, Raven. Cheer up, love. You're still doing better than the last guy who stood at your post. Seconded. I saw you deal with that obnoxious parent and with the cupcake war. You did well today. Seeing Gavin actually smiling is weird. But I'm not going to say no to praise for my sub-boss. Things seem to be cooling down. I suggest you take a few minutes in the break room while there's a lull in the action. Ashley and I will handle things for now, and she can swap you off when you come back. Mm-hmm. Rizzy ducks out of conversation without actually moving anywhere, refocusing on his game. I could use a few minutes. Yeah, thanks, Gavin. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. What a day. Quirky co-workers, die-hard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some cliche, but it's nothing an easily dismissed cliche. But nothing is an easily missed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop down into one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try and work the kinks out of my sore shoulders. Right. It's about an upside-down kid. Huh? Oh wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait, what's the kid doing back here? Hey, I think he's hoping I wouldn't notice him. Hi. Hi, and you are? Mikey? Oh, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Raven. So what are you doing back here? This is an employees only area. Wait, there's the keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with a door code written on it. Huh. Score 1 for Ashley's wild storytelling, being more fact than fiction. Okay, but you can't stay back here. It's, well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Well, this is curious. I leaned in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the person who solves problems.
No problems. Just don't want to go out there.
Don't you want to go play with your friends? And it gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city. And before that, we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember. Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him there and then brought him back to the party where the other parents could supervise him. I should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid, I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks, you really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why, I thought you wanted to make me go. You're an adult like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. The new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me that started happening back when I was 10. And again, moving from town to town, school to school. Never really making any friends, not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. To be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. I decided I'd just take what I could get. I'd go with the flow. What's that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do without really being sad
But
over
that
it.
sounds so sad. You weren't sad? It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard. Because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped little Raven out, even if an adult did this for me. So instead I decided to let the adult So I decided to be the adult that little Raven would have needed. Hey, it could be totally worse. Aliens could attack. You know, Mikey, things feel bad now, but they could be worse. Invaders from Mars could swoop in and dress everybody in silly hats. What? Just think about it. Everyone wearing really silly hats. They're all so embarrassed that they hand over the Earth to the aliens. And that's when the dinosaurs show up. Good stares at me, not sure if he's curious or confused. Okay, so the dinosaurs start fighting the aliens, but they smash all the schools, and that means you don't have to have homework anymore. And that's when the monsters start showing up, because the aliens and dinosaurs are making too much noise and they can't sleep. Next thing you know, it's all just monsters and aliens and dinosaurs smashing everything, and nobody's having any fun at all except them. That's silly. That's really silly. You're smiling, aren't you? He nearly drops a smile on realizing he's wearing one. When you're sad or when you're mad, just think to yourself, it could be worse, and invent some silly way it could be worse. Soon you won't feel so bad, and hey, at least there's no dinosaurs smashing things, right? Right. I don't know that I did a good job there. I just wanted to see what... I've never picked that option before. I just wanted to see what it would do. Hey, you know one great way to make friends? Jokes, stories, having fun. I bet if you went back out there, you'd find someone who laughed at a silly story about dinosaurs and aliens and robots. There's robots too? There's all the robots. If you want there to be. How about it? Let's go back to the party and you can meet some new friends if you try.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go talk to them. We'll talk about the robot dinosaurs. Go get him, Mikey. I take his hand to lead him back out to the main room. And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all Mikey's problems. I'm not a child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago, everything changed. No more family vacations, no more arcade visits. We couldn't afford them, and they couldn't take time off work. The whole Cater family had to learn to settle, to accept the lot in life we'd been dealt. Simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers. Alternatively boring and hectic, surreal and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep. Beep beep. Raven. My emotional voice analysis subroutines combined with your body language suggests that you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I love this job so much?
I know.
Oh, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements, a fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers helping people out, and so on. I also cross-referenced your roommate's post talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
99.97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.7% sure, you'd be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Jennifer for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know.
Hooray!
I try to be. When the car's pulling up the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have filed out by now, if they hadn't already fled the tidal wave of kiddies. My first impulse is to go bug Gavin about my paperwork, but I can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up, or maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. I don't have time to run around checking in with anyone, though. Who do I want to hang out with? Let's check on Percy. I was checking in with Gavin. Finished today's high score run. Percy's relaxing a bit by the movie machine, just casually browsing on his phone before he heads off.
Quite good.
Oh good, market's up. My morning trades will cash out nicely. And the movie score? Oh, quite terrible, I'm afraid. I had to restart twice. Meaning he played literally 75 cents worth of gaming all day long. Yow. Still keeps my skills sharp, yes? Practice, practice, practice. Plus, it was quite pleasant seeing all those kids having such a good time in the Funplex. I always play better when people around me are happy. Except the ones screaming and throwing cupcakes or being hassled by angry parents or having their stuff stolen or... True. Your job does by its very nature bring you into contact with those who are specifically not happy. Chin up, love. There are good days and bad days, true. But an arcade is a place where the good ones outnumber the bad. It's a palace of dreams, you see. That's around the palace, which is little more than a hole in the wall of the Twin Pines Mall. Maybe I can just work the good days and call in sick for the bad ones? If I could get prognostic, which days would be the nasty? If I could prognosticate which days would be the nasty ones, I'm sure I could just come down with the flu or something repeatedly. Ha. If only we see our futures, yes? If only we could see our futures, yes?
Well,
Assuming them to be long and healthy ones at any rate. But I say you need to be willing to take the good with the bad. It beats taking nothing at all. Only so many days left for any of us. Cherish what you have, even the sour moments, Raven. It's for the better. Well, if you'll excuse me, I should really be heading home. Job well done and all that, for both of us. Cheerio, then? Yes, tip-top, cheerio, Governor, fish and chips, Bob's your uncle and whatnot, or you know, I could simply say goodbye. That also works. Things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. I seek out Gavin at Hindle the remains of the day. Raven, good work today. Thanks, boss, mid-boss, sub-boss. Gavin will do. I can't say you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so I'll just assume you were as close to perfect as is reasonable. The cost of cleaning our carpets won't be as bad thanks to your quick thinking. Normally I'd have dealt with angry parents myself, but I was distracted. I've only second-hand accounted your performance there, as Teo told me everything. Although Teo isn't staff, I suppose he stepped up to handle that rude customer with a rational, calm attitude, so I'll consider that handled. I'm not pleased that you sold our movie machine for $1,000, not $3,000 as I requested. Gavin, we only paid $200 for that game. I'd be ripping off a customer. A customer with exceptionally deep pockets, and one who squats on that game all day, spending only a handful of change in the process. If anything, 3,000 was we need to make up for the lost profit from Percy being so moopy obsessed. What's more, why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem! Are you giving our poor little Raven a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping.
Let's be sensible.
Naomi's dreams matter too, as does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Poor? Isn't Percy stinking rich?
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Gavin, I know you mean well, wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifices made in the name which shatter the dreams of others, well, that's not what the Funplex is all about. Raven, you understand, yes? The reason why? Why I'm here? That's a question she asked me during the interview. I think I understand. I didn't really know why I was here when I walked in those doors. Maybe I still don't. This is the kind of place where you can learn who and what you are and why you're here. Naomi's here to care for her cherished games. Percy's chasing his dream of a high score. And I'm here because I'm tired of compromising, tired of settling for whatever I can get. And I want something more out of life. You know, we're better than this, Gavin. We don't settle. We seek our why and won't settle for anything less. I see.
Apologies.
Raven, Miss Francine, I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you were so keen to work here, Raven? I don't even hesitate before replying. Absolutely. Gavin fetches a nearby short sack of forms. Philly's out tonight, hand them in to me first thing in the morning. And welcome to the Funplex. Welcome to the family, I'd say. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine, Raven. One bus arrives later, and it's home again. Home again, jiggity jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over, eager to interrogate me on my day.
Hey.
So how'd it go? It went well. Well, or well? Really well. Your little app came through, despite being terrifyingly on mission and just a little bit unnerving. You forgot to mention adorable. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out. And you even came home with a smile like when you were a lifeguard. Huh, I guess I am smiling. Interesting.
By the way, there's just one teensy-weensy little question I have for you. Why exactly did you order a giant crate full of pizza bagels?
Did I neglect to mention the part of the terms and conditions? Plus, I don't know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. And that's level 1 of Arcade Spirits complete. Hey look, you also won a prize. You'll get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden thingies. Now let's check your score. Taylor's definitely taken a liking to you. Dance Fever. You're proving to be level-headed, rational, and honest. Great. Also, you scored 5,800 points. Nice. Keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Nice piece of fact is, Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Alright, we are saving there. And I talked forever, and so this is where we'll be ending our game today. If you're enjoying the video, if you want to see the rest of the series, if you enjoy my voices, you know, what have you, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons, maybe leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!